Hello, my name is Paula and today we are going to talk about gender violence in the 21st century. Gender violence has been an issue that has been in shade for many years, maybe because it was something so common for the society, something that wasn't given too much importance. So for many years it has been an issue that depends solely on the couple and that be arranged among its members and in private. I think gender violence affects both women and men for equal because sometimes we think that it affects more to women, but it really affects both for equal. And for decades, gender violence has been legitimized as something normal and natural due to the difference between one sex and the other, and it's due to the social conception of definition of women with respect to men. If we look back from a few years ago, we can see that the ideologies had been the same. Discuss on this subject to justify the gender violence with the pace of the time and the numerous social changes, among which is the struggle of the women for their rights with problem that has been converted, as mentioned, something natural. Violence against women, according to the ONG, any act of violence based on gender that has a possible or actual result, physical, sexual, or psychological harm, includes threats of coercion and arbitrary deprivation of liberty, whether it's occurs in public or private life. So now here we have some types of gender violence. The first one is physical violence that includes all corporal aggressions such as beating, burns, mutilation, attack with weapons, etc. Sexual violence that is which any sexual activity occurs without the consent of the other person, among which would be forced sex or exploitation with sex industry, among others. Sometimes we think that this only happened to women. I mean, men force women to have sex, or as it says, exploitation. But sometimes it just happened to men too.
Psychological violence. This concept is very broad and encompasses a multitude of situations in which there are aggression of an intellectual or moral type, such as threat, contempt, insult. Economic violence. It is understood as the inequality that exists in the access to shared resource, not only preventing access to economic resource, but also to education or to a job. Structural violence. This type of violence is related to economic violence, but also includes invisible and intangible barriers that hinder the development of potential options and the basic rights of people, and is sustained by the existence of firmly intrusive obstacles that are reproduced daily in our society. As for example, the power relations that generate and legitimize inequality. Spiritual violence consists of maintaining behaviors that force other people to accept a certain culture, religion, or beliefs, or ridicule or punish the beliefs or another in order to destroy them. Violence against a woman is one of the most common violations of human rights, which millions of women throughout the world suffer daily, although it is difficult to obtain reliable and comparable global data on this problem. The ONU states that 20 years after the declaration of the elimination of violence against women of 1993, which established the framework for action against it, one of each 3 women in the world continue to suffer psychological or sexual abuse, mainly at the hands of their partner. Myths that minimize the importance of gender violence. This is a punctual phenomenon very localized in numerous studies confirm that is very present throughout the world, with high percentage of women who have been are or will be mistreated throughout their lives. The psychological is not as serious as the physical. This type of violence, as we have seen previously, has not been studied as much, but is the certainly and harmful to health as it is physical, since it also goes unnoticed on many occasions. But in the eyes of people and the victim himself, on the other hand, it is often the precursor of other forms of abuse. Conclusions. Young people of the 21st century should be educated in equality and respect between both sexes, making disappear what for so many years has killed thousands of women, gender violence. However, far from eradicating this type of violence in recent years has increased among young people, as reflected in the 2015 Mercury survey carried out in Spain by the Women Institute, where from the first time young people aged 16 and 17 are included years, given the number of cases that have recently appeared.